This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and here's an interesting piece right here. We've seen the Lenovo Yoga tablets before. They come in Android and Windows flavors. In fact, we did the Lenovo Yoga Tablet 2 Pro, which is the 13.3-inch Android model with the projector. This is the 13-inch Windows version here. So that's the Lenovo Yoga Tablet 2 with Windows, 13-inch. A lot to say right there. Comes with the keyboard, and going rate right now is $5.99. Interesting. Not a bad deal. We're going to look at it now. So this is the new 13.3-inch Lenovo Yoga 2 tablet. It's an interesting kind of hybrid concept. We've got the most definitely traditional tablet designed by Lenovo standards, the Yoga thing, yet it's the size in terms of footprint of a laptop. 13.3 inches is actually the same footprint, height, and width as the Lenovo Yoga 3 Pro, which is a laptop. Interesting then. In the box for $5.99, that's the going price right now. The original list price was $6.99, but we're down to $5.99 now on Lenovo's website. You get this Bluetooth keyboard as well. So it does indeed transform into a laptop. This is Bluetooth right here. It's very rigid. And you see this kind of barrel-y round hinge area? Well, that mates to the cylindrical barrel hinge that Lenovo uses on their Yoga tablets, because that's where the battery is down here at the bottom. So it latches on there, so yes, you can attach them if you want. They don't require a connection to speak to each other since it's Bluetooth and that's wireless. And when you fold it up, it makes it kind of like, well, a laptop. As you can see, the magnet is not really very strong though. So you got to futz with it a little bit, and then there it is, like that. It has the usual yoga stand, which locks down, and it makes a very attractive looking, well, 13.3-inch laptop of sorts. Nice barrel hinge right here. So the battery, 12,800 milliamps, a lot of battery in here, all in the barrel hinge area. Nice design, interesting concept. The tablet itself, minus the keyboard, weighs 2.27 pounds. You add the keyboard in and you're looking at 3 pounds 4 ounces. So it's actually about the same weight as some of the lighter Ultrabooks. You're not saving in any weight there. Obviously, it's pretty darn skinny though. And obviously it's a lot cheaper than the average Ultrabook, which tends to be more than $1,000. Right here, nested in this hinge, that's actually your 3.5 millimeter audio jack. This is the micro HDMI port. And over here on the keyboard section, notice separating it out here, that's the on-off switch for the keyboard itself, and then there's a micro USB connection to charge the keyboard separately. Now, I've been using this for about 5 days, and I haven't had the keyboard run out of juice yet, so it's not something you're going to have to charge all that often, happily. We've got a little lift area here to make it a little bit easier to separate these two. And on this side we have the volume buttons for the tablet, and this is a micro USB port. This is where you're going to plug in the compact wall wart style charger, not unlike other tablet chargers, because this runs on an Intel Atom quad-core CPU. This does not run on an Intel Core CPU, so it's not that power demanding. It doesn't need that much charging. However, that's a big battery to charge, so it's going to take a while. And this is the power button, which actually lights up. There's an LED ring around the edge. So really a very attractive design, I think. This looks pretty nice. Big old sticker was over here, left a little bit of a footprint. I took it off so it could look a little bit nicer and more attractive. Little rubber feet on it to stop it from sliding around. Pretty easy to take it off. Obviously it has not put the display to sleep. And the back stand, like other Yoga tablets, is a release over here. And it's pretty stiff so that when you put it in whatever position you want, it's going to stay there. There's a Jbl Subwoofer right there, and this, as you can hear, is metal. This is plastic and it's black. The Android tablets are silver. The Windows versions are black for Lenovo in their Yoga tablet series. And that's what it looks like. It's certainly a very sturdy kind of hinge. And you can see, you just hold it down and move it to whatever position you want. And it's reasonably firm there. There's always going to be a little bit of bounce. Works well. And this is Lenovo's new design with the hole over here. Not only gives you a place to open up for the subwoofer and to release the stand, but you can hang it on the wall. How many people want to hang this on the wall? I don't know, but that's the thing. This is nicely machined, however, it is still metal, so it might catch and scratch on your fingers, especially in the wintertime when we tend to have dry hands. Door right there, there's your micro SD card slot, compatible with cards up to 64 gigs. And you're probably going to want some storage expansion because this is like other Intel Atom tablets. That means they're storage starved. Comes with 64 gigs of storage, and this is full Windows 8.1 on here. So you know how it is. The operating system, recovery partition, the standard applications, they all take up a good deal of space. So you're really left with around 40 gigs of free space out of the box with this, guys. Given that it's not really designed for heavy lifting, that's not the end of the world. You're probably not going to install every program in the world on here, just stuff like Office, your email, your web, social networking apps, Netflix, all those sort of things. It gets the job done for that. And you can put your media on SD cards, your movies, your music, all that sort of thing. And for those of you who like the idea but don't want something as big as 13.3 inches, Lenovo also makes an 8 and a 10-inch model. This is the Android counterpart right here. This is an 8-inch model to give you an idea of the size. Windows 1 looks exactly the same except for it is black. And like I said, there's also a 10-inch model in between, so it's kind of like Goldilocks. There's a size for everybody. So here we have 13.3 inches of QHD goodness. This is what you could call a 3K display. 2560 by 14 pixels is an IPS display. It's bright, it's colorful, it's a lovely thing. And this is Windows 8.1, 32 bits installed on here. Even though it's a 64-bit CPU, they've gone with 32-bit Windows. Where this is different than most other Intel Atom Windows tablets on the market, this one has 4 gigs of RAM rather than 2 gigs of RAM, which makes it a little bit better suited for, well, it's more serious multitasking. The challenge is with just 2 gigs of RAM on those tablets, if you want to run more than just a web browser with a couple of tabs in Office, you're starting to get into virtual memory. So here, no worries with that. We have our full normal desktop right here. Responsive to touch, easy enough to use, fairly quick, generally speaking, given the fact that it's an Atom. It's a 1.33 gigahertz Intel Atom Z3745 CPU. It has boost to 1.86 gigahertz. Again, there's 64 gigs of storage in there. Intel HD graphics, that's what you get there. Not really a gamer PC. Now, if you want to get stuff from the Windows Store here that runs in LiveTile, those are optimized for lower power devices. That's just fine. This is not going to be playing Battlefield or anything like that. In terms of speed, in fact, it's about half as fast as Microsoft Surface Pro 3 and Lenovo's own Yoga 3 Pro, which is an actual laptop design. PC Mark 7 score 2539. Closer to 5,000 is what you're going to get with the Core i5 or even the Core M used in the Yoga 3 Pro. PC Mark 8 is scored 1,084 for the home accelerated test. W Prime it computed pi in 31.7 seconds. That gives you an idea of CPU speeds right there. And for a Core i5, it would be about 19 seconds versus 31.7 here. Geekbench 3, 794 for the single core, multi-core 2650. So who is this for? This is for you who are using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, doing email. You want to stream Netflix, Amazon Prime videos, YouTube videos, what have you. It's going to do that fine. It's going to be fine for email, social networking, even light photo editing. You could use Photoshop on this and it would work. And as long as you don't do it professionally for a living, working with 30 meg raw files day in, day out, it would be fine. But for casual photo editing, I occasionally need to do something for my PowerPoint presentation, gets the job done. And for those of you who would prefer to actually use it as a tablet, not use the accessory keyboard at times, you can use the stand in this position as well. Bring up the on-screen keyboard and, well, type away to your heart's content that way too. It has dual band Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN. That's good. Often the Atom tablets, they have single band, so we have dual band here. Bluetooth 4.0. There's currently no 3G or 4G option for this, so you need a MiFi, a mobile hotspot on your phone, or you could use the USB on-the-go port. That means you need a USB dongle adapter for that USB port and use a USB-based 4G LTE dongle with it. So let's check out what video looks like and how the sound is, especially with that little Jbl Subwoofer on the back. Now, most Yoga tablets have the speakers right over here facing at you. In the case of this model, they're on the side, so they're side-vented speakers. So we're going to play this video of the Surface Pro 3, imagine that, at 1080p. We're going to look at it now. Well, you don't see a laptop laid out like this very often, do you? That's what's different about this. This is Microsoft Surface Pro 3. It is a full Windows tablet with Intel Core CPUs inside and optional keyboard right here. can see it can function
so
as
it does
cover. Magnetic eclipse.
Fine job with that. Looks good. Sounds pretty good too. Sounds certainly better than your average so-called Windows tablet right there. Not bad at all. And how was I controlling that? I was using this because you actually don't have to connect them together, so that works out nicely. How is this keyboard, by the way? It's rigid, so it gives you a sense of confidence. It's Surface Pro 3's type cover might not. That said, it's an island style, as you can see here, pretty nice size keys. That's it. I didn't find I typed a whole lot better on it versus Surface Pro 3. Keyboard travel, you get the idea. It's actually not bad given how skinny it is. Tactile, feels nice. Lenovo makes a good keyboard, so it feels damped. It feels high quality. It's pretty darn nice given the package price, you know, around $600 or so. Certainly for anybody who's doing content creation, it gets the job done nicely. No backlighting here, though. One thing you don't generally get on Bluetooth wireless connected keyboards, and you don't get here. So how about battery life? This entire area here, this whole cylinder is filled with battery, which is a pretty ingenious design, especially if you're using it, well, without the piece up top, though even it's not bad this way. You get a good center balance of gravity when you're holding it like this or so. It's comfortable. But anyway, Lenovo claims up to 15 hours, which is pretty darn amazing. And given the fact that this is 12,800 milliamps and it's only an Intel Atom inside, it actually has been doing about 11 hours for us. That's what average productivity is. Word, Excel, streaming a 45-minute episode from Netflix thrown in, playing some music in the background, doing some email and social networking. If you're going to be playing Mahjong all day long on it, expect a shorter battery life. If you're going to be editing video on this, which, you know, it doesn't really have the horsepower to do that and export very quickly or anything, so I don't recommend it for that other than occasional casual use. But anyway, that's another thing that could certainly diminish your battery life. But overall, it's really very impressive. In fact, when Lenovo sent us this review, they set it to not sleep the screen for 30 minutes at a time. I thought, well, that's crazy. And it just lasts that long. I mean, that's the thing. You don't really have to worry so much about it, which is nice. And when you're not using it, you can just put it to sleep instead of shutting it down if you want. So in sleep, it consumes just about no power. If you want to use it like a Windows laptop, right here again, there's that micro USB 2.0 port, and you'll need a USB on-the-go dongle adapter that'll go from micro USB to full-size USB and have the right wires pinned out to connect to things like USB printers, USB hard drives. It's Windows, so anything that you can get drivers for in Windows will work with this. You're just going to need that little adapter to do the job. So all in all, if you're looking for something that has a pretty laptop-like screen size, the 13.3 inches, Surface Pro 3 is too rich for your blood, or maybe even find the screen size a little bit small, and you don't need something that can do a whole lot of heavy lifting, heavy tasks. You just need something for the road. This has a lot of style. It's really sturdy. It has a beautiful display on it and fantastic battery life, and the keyboard's in the box. Not bad for the total package price. Good going, Lenovo.
So that's the Lenovo Yoga Tablet 2 with Windows 13-inch. And, you know, there aren't many very large tablets on the market. And I happen to really like this design. And the stand makes sense. With something as big and as heavy as a 13-inch tablet, you really don't want to be holding it. And obviously you don't have to. Keyboard's in the box. If you don't need a whole lot of performance, office, social networking, that sort of thing, it'll do the job. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to visit our website for the full written review, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.